Something personal now, going through both of these. I know you just assumed the role of CEO in January and you kind of were lunged into this position here.
Yeah.
How have you taken having a double punch as the top dog at our largest utility here? How have you been handling it?
That's my job. You know, I have the privilege to work with an amazing team. The men and women that do this work every day are committed to the neighbors they have the privilege to serve. It's my job to take this feedback, ensure they have the resources to make sure for the next storm we're better prepared and that we respond faster. So I'm happy to take that pressure so the men and women at CenterPoint can do the work that our community expects and deserves.
We touched on it earlier. There's a lot of distrust right now between the Houston area and CenterPoint. How do you plan on restoring that trust?
Yeah, I believe strongly in a D-say ratio of 1, and I think that's what you saw when we first rolled out the first phase of our Greater Houston Resiliency Initiative. We outlined a series of work and we reported against it every day to make sure that we held ourselves accountable to our promises. You'll see that in the second phase of work in the Greater Houston Resiliency Initiative, and you'll see it as we roll out that third and final phase. I believe that making sure that we execute on the actions we commit to is that first step of beginning to rebuild trust. Along the way, we want to hear from our communities. You know, we've conducted over 19 sessions, listening tours, if you will, with our customers in their communities. We're not done. We're going to continue that work throughout the year, building a level of familiarity, relationships, understanding what our communities need. And I think it's the combination of those things that will, over time, re-earn our customers' trust.
And like I said, you just assumed this role in January, and I could only imagine it must be one of the weirdest questions to be asked, but a lot of people, including state leaders, were asking, why don't you resign? And I like this quote that you said to the Senate committee. I think if I resign today, we lose momentum on the things that are going to have the best possible impact for the greater Houston region.
Yeah.
Do you still believe that to be true? And give me the backstory on your thoughts on that, because that's a strong statement.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it stronger today than even when I said it then. I've had the privilege of being in this industry for 25 years. I've seen how this industry runs to the challenge. The men and women that came from across the country to help us restore our service. I can't do that work, but that spirit of running towards the challenge has rubbed off on me. And I know that we can re-earn our community's trust here. We've kind of talked about it. It's not just the investment, it's not just the listening tour, it's bringing technology that will help us move faster and deploy these hardening investments on a more targeted basis. It's a combination of those activities that I'm confident will build the system that our customers expect of us.
No two storms are alike, but Hurricane Beryl and Hurricane Helene had a very different proactiveness versus reactiveness. We saw a lot of state, federal, mutual aid resources for Hurricane Helene being staged beforehand, where with Beryl, quite frankly, it danced up the coast and we were the unlucky ones that got hit by it. I want your honest thoughts. Do you think that had an impact on the reactiveness to get the power restored? If those resources would have been staged beforehand, if there would have been help beforehand, would that have made the response a little bit better?
You know, in retrospect, we could always bring more resources to bear. We had pre-staged a significant number of resources. We were tracking Beryl for 9 days before it made landfall. And, you know, as you mentioned, for 7 of those 9 days, it looked like it was going to hit south of us. We were really, monitoring that for a response to the gas systems. We have the privilege to operate down near the Corpus area. But we were tracking it for its impact on Houston. As soon as we started to see that it was shifting north, we pre-staged a number of resources. We wouldn't have been able to restore 1 million customers in 48 hours had we not pre-staged those crews. Again, more resources would have helped. I think that the real action that's going to drive change for our customers is, again, delivering that self-healing grid to reduce the number of outages so that the crews that are coming to restore have a concentrated area to focus on and can get the service restored faster.
Your men and women are working right now to continuously make a more resilient grid, but at the same time, you have crews helping out those that are impacted by Hurricane Helene.
That's it.
Talk to the note of how it's just really, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
It's a hallmark of our industry. We're in this together. We take a great amount of pride to running towards that challenge, as I mentioned. We've got about 1/3 of our internal workforce, native contractors, our employees that are in the Southeast helping with the restoration efforts. we're returning that favor because the industry ran to Houston to help us in our time of need with Beryl. We're in this together as an industry, and I think it is, one of the distinguishing aspects of the electric industry.
Those crews have a monumental task ahead of them, really a kind of demolition and a reconstruction of their electrical infrastructure up there. Is CenterPoint watching to see if there's anything that we can do here and learn from what they're going through?
Absolutely. One of my areas of focus is instilling a learning culture. Florida, as an example, was impacted by a series of hurricanes in 2004, 2005, and it was really their call to action. After our experience with Hurricane Beryl this summer, we brought a number of their retired executives who were part of the strategy of hardening their grid, asking for their best practices, trying to learn from that. We're using the example with Helene to learn as well. There's work that is being done around the country to accelerate the use of AI. We're learning from those peers. We're announcing partnerships like the one you highlighted yesterday. It's learning from all of these different experiences that's going to deliver the grid that our customers expect.
And my final question, and maybe my most important, isn't an answer I want you to give me, but to Houston. Right here, right now, what is your promise to Houstonians far and wide for how CenterPoint will handle them and take care of them in their time of need?
We will absolutely be better. We will be the utility, the company that our customers expect of us. We'll be there understanding their needs in the community before a storm hits. We will have less outages, we will restore faster, and we will be empathetic to the experiences that they have. We will be a good neighbor, if you will, for our community that we have the great privilege to serve.
Is there anything that I didn't ask that you wanted to mention? I know we touched on a lot of topics in a short time, but is there anything that you directly wanted to bring up?
I continue to want to recognize the incredible work of the men and women that work on our system each and every day. They work through incredibly tough conditions, and in some cases during Hurricane Beryl, face the threats of violence. And that's counterproductive to the restoration efforts. It disrupts the workflow, slows down. There's really no place for that violence, right? These men and women are committed to restoring power, serving the community that they call their neighbors and friends. And so I think we should really celebrate them as opposed to expressing any frustration towards the number of outages that we've experienced. That is something that I need to address, and I am happy to stand accountable for outages, improvement, and delivering the grid that our customers expect of us.
Mr. Wells, thank you. I
Really
appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.